Welcome to Broken Kayfabe, the unofficial after show of Breaking Kayfabe with Baldwin and Barry, the greatest podcast on God's green earth. If you're not a member of the Breaking Kayfabe with Baldwin and Barry Facebook group, stop what you're doing right now and go join. And if you don't listen to Breaking Kayfabe with Baldwin and Barry, then I don't even know how you found this podcast to begin with. So go give that a download and listen, and you'll find a Facebook group with a bunch of folks in it that just are loving, caring, entertaining, hilarious, no a-holes in the group. That's one of the rules. So go find that group, become a member of the Brothership. You know, Ariel, I saw a lot of gifts being sent back and forth between the Brothershippers over the holidays.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Plenty of gifts.
Yeah. I saw you sent some cookies, or did you get cookies? Which one was it?
I sent cookies to Michael Herrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's before, I think it was last year or earlier this year, I sent him It's It ice cream cookies.
Okay.
And yeah, so I don't
know.
What's
the brand name?
It's It. It's a local brand here in the Bay Area, and it's 2 oatmeal cookies with ice cream in the middle, covered in dark chocolate, and it's my favorite ice cream cookie ever. So,
wow. And they deliver, huh?
Yeah, through Goldbelly.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a sponsor of this show, of course, but just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Where were the ones from this year?
They were from I forgot the company's name. I think it was like Stuffed Cookie from Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then he sent me oh man, I try the steak sauces, but St. Elmo's Steakhouse steak sauce, horseradish, cocktail sauce, and the dry rub. And I tried the steak sauce on some turkey meatballs that I had in the freezer. So good. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, they looked really cool. You know, I think that the moderators of the Facebook group are really unsung heroes. And I wish I'd thought about it before the holidays, because I would have gotten each of them something. So I was planning on reaching out to them anyway and saying, thank you. And, can I send you a little something? I think there's 3 besides, Jeff and Barry that keep up. That's Michael Herrick, Mark Hartwick, and Travis Raines.
Yes. I'm too broke right now to send everybody a gift. I would love to send everybody a gift. But Michael and I are pretty cool with each other, because like for years we've been talking about food back and forth through DMs and everything like that, and I'm always astonished with the food posts that he has. And he has, I live here in the West Coast. There's a lot of regional foods over there that I've never heard of or seen, and Michael's one of the few in the group that opened my eyes to other types of regional fare.
But there's probably 100 guys that would say the same thing about you and your food posts.
No, not really. I mean, it's just basic.
Okay. I'm gonna prove you wrong right now. So, what was the last food post that you made?
I think it was the lobster.
Okay, what about the burgers? The
InNOut Burger? Okay, yes. What do you want to know about the InNOut Burger?
Tell us what you ordered.
Okay, so I was going, let's see how this all happened. I was just driving around. Oh no, I actually mailed some gifts to my sister in North Carolina. So I just came back from the post office. I was feeling kind of fat. I mean, wanting to, be gluttonous, like for the last time this year. And I decided to go to InNOut Burger. It just opened. It was like around 10:30. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to go there and beat the lunch rush. So I went and ordered 2 4x4s. One of them is animal style. 4x4 is 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese. Also ordered animal style fries and 2 orders of the Flying Dutchman, which is 2 patties, 2 cheeses, just as is. Ordered 2 of those. My goal was to make the 10x10 burger and also a side of roadkill fries, which is not really on the secret menu. It was something that another customer made up years ago by ordering animal style fries and then topping it with the hamburger patty with extra cheese on it. So I wanted to do that, and yeah, I did it. I ate most of it. I left half a burger left with 5 patties on it, so I ate 5 patties
Wow.
from that burger and whatnot. But yeah, I ate all the fries. I ate most of the burger. I mean the meat patties, half of them, and then left half the burger to take to work. I was really full the entire day and most of the evening until it was lunchtime, like around I take lunch at 1 a.m. at work. So I didn't eat anything until then. And yeah, I still feel pretty full from that.
Well, everyone was amazed with your post. All those. I mean, In-N-Out is one of the favorites among the group, especially the folks that live over on the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm amazed I'm still alive. So that says something. No, there were times when I what's it called? I kind of altered my In-N-Out Burger order. Like I went to there's the In-N-Out Burger next to my house. There's a sandwich place called Togo's. It's also a local sandwich shop, and it's kind of like Subway but a lot better. So they serve chili, and also I like the pastrami a lot. So one day I went to Togo's and I ordered a pastrami sandwich with chili, with a side of chili. And then I went to In-N-Out Burger and got me a double and some animal style fries. What I did, actually I got 2 animal style fries. What I did was I topped one of the animal style fries with chili and the other one with pastrami. And that was really good also. So yeah, I like doing like experiments with foods and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just saved the picture of your burger and your roadkill fries to show Jenna when we're done here recording, because that's pretty daggone impressive.
I think last year, I think sometime last year, if you look back, I did another burger challenge from Wayback Burger. I don't know if you're familiar with that place.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so Wayback Burger is another burger chain, not as big as it was before, I guess, but there are a couple of locations scattered around the United States. They have this, I think it was like a nine patty burger, and they're pretty big patties compared to In-N-Out Burger. But I tried their 9 patty burger. I posted it up on the Facebook group. I don't know if you want to go back and look for it, but it's there. And that one I finished. I finished that one in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that.
How long ago was that one?
I think it was like a year ago, or or something like a year or 2 ago. I don't quite remember. I think it was a year ago.
Yeah, so every post that you've made with pictures so far is
with food.
Here's some San Francisco pictures. There was Bailey and someone else pictures. So here's
okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. Wow, the Wayback Burger for dinner and Bobo ice cream.
Oh, was that the one?
This is January the 2nd, 2021.
Was that the huge burger? I know it was like a big burger that was piled high.
No, this is like 2 patties.
Okay, there was another one before that.
Wow, let's see. Steak quesadilla.
We're going through my food history.
Wow, so many. Yeah.
I can't really contribute to wrestling because my wrestling knowledge goes back to WWF in the mid to late 80s, and it's like WWF, WCW, stuff like that, mainstream stuff. I never really grew up with like NWA and AWA and all that stuff. Mainly here in California, it's always been the WWF and WCW, I didn't watch I didn't watch like regional wrestling or anything like that.
Did you have a chance to Hook segment where he no-sold the Tiger Driver, I believe it's called?
Yeah, I did. That was ridiculous. In my opinion, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that a big guy delivering, a finishing move, dropping someone on their head, and then having them get up and no-sell it, especially, what is it? It's his second match, right? It's just a little much. And it's not like he's a big dude like Braun Strowman. You could see like Braun Strowman taking an RKO and jumping right back up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're gonna push him to be some sort of world beater from the get-go, there was no reason for a guy what's his second match to no sell a move like you said from someone that's twice as big as he is.
Right, yeah. Well, and you saw the Taz comment, about Bret Hart, and I think it was Tiger Mask, where Bret Hart punches him, and Tiger Mask takes a back bump, and then jumps up, does a kip up, and then does a kick on him. You saw that, right?
Yes, I did. And to me, that's not a very good comparison. Considering that Bret Hart is only slightly bigger than Sayama, and Sayama is legit a martial artist, so he can take a punch like that and come back and do some crazy kick. I mean, yeah, but comparing that to Hook and a much larger wrestler, to me, that's ridiculous.
So when do you think it is appropriate for someone to no-sell a move?
I don't. Maybe when it's Rey Mysterio versus Braun Strowman and Rey, hits him with like a drop kick or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like a larger guy. I mean, a smaller guy no-selling a move from a larger opponent, especially if he gets dropped on his head like that.
Right, yeah. Well, Hogan would Hulk up.
Yes.
And he would Hulk up, and he would be impervious to whatever shots that it was that he was getting from the people. And then, he'd do the finger wag, and then he'd do his comeback, the punches, the boot, the leg drop, and it's all over, right? Completely different, having Hogan hulking up and no-selling those punches, or rakes to the back or eye pokes, whatever it was at the moment, and then having this guy get this devastating move by this much larger guy, and then popping right back up.
Yeah, and only on his second match ever, or it's I can't really. I didn't like it. Personally, I didn't like it.
Me neither. The other thing that I didn't like is, I think Taz has to be careful. I think Taz is very protective of his brand, of Taz. And so he's trying to do the same with his son, right? So he's defending his son. I don't know that Hook has a social media presence yet or whatever, but, he's defending him. Look, no one is going to root for the guy whose dad is defending him.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's
like,
so
well, you can't
weird.
defend yourself. Your daddy's got to defend you.
Yeah, especially after Hook no-sold a devastating move, and then he's gonna have his dad like defend him on. It's just so stupid to me.
Yeah, good. I'm glad we're on the same page with that, because that could have been totally awkward.
Definitely. Yeah, I was watching that clip over and over again, especially there's that one that you actually showed me, the one with Jerry Lawler giving Taz a pile driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taz no-sold that also, and it must be a genetic thing. Taz passed on his no-selling head trauma move genetics to his son Hook, so now he's impervious to head like pile driver.
Well, ironically, I think it was a broken neck from a spike pile driver that sort of, sidelined Taz and gave him problems that he probably is still dealing with.
Yeah, I think
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I think so. I think
It was Malenko and somebody else gave him a spike pile driver, and Taz knew he was hurt right away. I used to be a huge fan of the Taz show that used to come on radio.com, or it was a podcast, and then it started coming on live. And I would get up, when I was getting ready to go to work, I would listen to that every morning. Absolutely loved it. And it was call ins, and then you could call in, ask questions. They had different segments that were just hilarious. I had a whole new appreciation for Taz.
yeah, I still listen to that too. I think they moved to like CBS or something, or
Yep.
and then yeah,
Then it got sold.
and it got sold.
Yeah, and then Taz was done, and he ended up going to AEW, which is good. I think he's a great announcer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, he's a great talker. In general, very entertaining.
yeah. It's kind of weird seeing him go back and forth between the broadcast booth and then managing, his stable. I mean, like, because it's how was it? I don't know. Sometimes he could be kind of goofy on when he's announcing or when he's doing commentary, and then he's like a total serious guy when he's managing. I just yeah, I don't know, one or the other, but yeah, it's
100% with you. 100% with you.
It's kind of weird with me.
I think he should do one or the other. And I think he is hilarious on the commentary. I think some of it, I hope he wouldn't do it during a big fight field, but when I watch like the clips that I watch with him and Excalibur going back and forth, it's pretty funny.
Yes.
Right, but if it's a big match, I guess you'd want to cut some of the jocularity, as Taz would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then I'm not a fan of hey, I'm this character here, but when I'm in the ring, I'm this character, or this is how I'm portraying myself, or whatever. And I also think with his stable, and I hope people don't think I'm crapping on Taz, because I genuinely like him. There's been too many changes to his stable.
Yeah, I agree. From what I've seen before till what I know of now, it's a lot has changed, especially with what's his name, Will Hobbs.
Brian Cage? Oh, I thought you were saying.
And Brian Cage, yeah, right. Where is he?
Yeah. Well, here's one thing that was weird. So Brian Cage was on High Spots and was selling pictures, and it was a picture of him and Taz, and it was autographed, and it was AEW, and I think maybe the next week, the owner of High Spots was on there and said, "Hey, we won't be doing any more pictures with Taz, because the Brian Cages were done selling those, because Taz called up and he was really upset that we were selling a picture of him." And Michael, the owner of High Spots, defended himself, says, "Hey, I asked Brian Cage what it is, and and Brian gave me the pictures, and he autographed them. I didn't think you would have a problem with it, so you did. So he stopped selling them." But I mean, that was a little bit of a riff, and then I don't know what else is going on. But Brian Cage, I mean, as big as he is and as good as he is, he should have had a much larger role than what he had.
I totally agree.
My opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the guy has he has the look, he has the ability. I don't know as far as promos. I haven't really heard any of his promos, if any. He has done in AEW, but I've seen him in Lucha Underground. I've seen him in independent wrestling promotions. He has a lot of potential, but I don't know what happened in AEW.
Well, maybe Hook stole his push.
Probably.
All right. Well, awesome, man. Thanks for talking here about Hook.
No problem.
Yeah, so that's my take on wrestling. I don't watch. I just read in the news what happened, and then I'll go look for clips, or on YouTube I do watch Botchamania. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that guy really does a good job, and it's humor. So that's really cool. I'll watch sometimes whatever the AEW YouTube show is. I'll watch some of that, and mainly what I do is look at the beginning of the match and then the ending.
Okay. I've been watching lately. I've been watching the United Wrestling Network. It's like the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Championship Wrestling from Atlanta, Championship Wrestling from Memphis. It's like a little network of Championship Wrestling from places.
So I did see the Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Oh, did you? How did you like it?
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't watch it real intently. I may have been scrolling through my phone or something, but I did. And actually, I can't remember any one match that I saw. But
Right.
The other thing that I like is really bad wrestling.
Yes.
And this isn't along the same lines, but one thing that I do watch is some old North Carolina wrestling. Not old, but North Carolina wrestling that's produced like outside of Charlotte and that area, and then there's some that was produced in South Carolina, Chief J Eagles promotion. I think that's all pro wrestling. So it's NAWA is the one I watch in North Carolina, and it's to me it just reminds me of when I used to do it in North Carolina. Very similar field of guys, and I bet that I could talk to those guys and be like, oh, this person, and we all would know some of the same people. So that's why I like those two shows.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. I got to check it out.
Yep. I think it's under the YouTube channel Carolina Wrestling Archives, and I think that Michael Elliott. Are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
He's in our group, and he does some of like filmography for High Spots. So he, filmed and did some of the interviews, and I know that he's done Kickstarter. So I don't know his extent of what he does, but I know that he does some work with High Spots.
Oh,
and
nice.
he's a Brothershipper.
Awesome.
He doesn't post a lot, but I've seen him in there.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah, yep. So, what about New Year's? What did you do to celebrate New Year's?
New Year's. Okay, I stayed at home in bed and I video chatted my girlfriend, and we also live stream a food vlogger that we both watch. So we live stream his show or his New Year's celebration also, and yeah, I just stayed home. I'm tired. I'm tired nowadays. I don't want to go out. It's too cold. People are crazy and drinking. It's the weekend. I'm not into that anymore. And it's my girlfriend asked me, she said, "Why aren't you out with your friends?" I'm like, because something crazy always happens. And I was right, because right after midnight, after all the fireworks were done, well, like around 12:30, immediately I hear the sound of a helicopter just flying around my neighborhood. A freaking police helicopter. And then sirens. I don't know if it was an ambulance or a fire truck or anything. But I'm like, yeah, see, this is why I don't want to go out. This is exactly this reason. Just so, but yeah, I just stayed home. Celebrated with my girlfriend on video chat and watching a live stream video from our favorite food vlogger.
What about your folks? Did they not go out and do anything either?
No, they slept because they got work in the morning.
Oh, I heard that, man.
Yeah, they went to sleep at like 8, and right after dinner, they took it. They just realized my dad was working earlier, so he just wanted to just knock out and get up early to go get ready for work. Yeah, it's the fireworks and everything. It started at around 11 over here, and of course my parents kind of they hear it and they get kind of annoyed with the whole fireworks thing, so they try to go to sleep as soon as they can and try to sleep through the fireworks and all that stuff, because they get up early. They get up like at 4 a.m. 4:30.
Wow.
Like my dad goes to work at 4. My mom, she gets ready around 4:30, so try to get as much sleep as they can.
Yeah. Since Y2K, the New Year's Eve just hasn't lived up to any hype.
Yeah.
You remember Y2K?
Yeah, I do.
They said that all the computers were going to fail.
I had this conversation. Yeah, exactly. I had this conversation with my girlfriend earlier. Actually, yeah, all the computers will fail and the planes will fall from the sky or something like that. And then I'm thinking, like, it's so ridiculous because there are other countries ahead of us by how many hours? My girlfriend lives in the Philippines. She's like 14 hours ahead of us right now or something. So they would have known first. Right when I was talking to her, it's barely our New Year. She's already lived through like half of January 1st already of the new year. And yeah, it was just we were talking about that. It was kind of ridiculous because it's like other countries would have known. I mean, they would have gotten, if it were true or not, it would have affected them way before it would have affected us here in the United States. And we would have known if it worked or not, you know.
Yeah, that is true. However, we didn't have computers in our pockets, back in 2000.
No,
so, you would have had to be at home and watching the news, and I mean, maybe I knew because I just got out of the military in '97, but maybe I knew in 2000, how far, Korea was ahead of us. But yeah, most people don't have that kind of knowledge. I mean, we are American educated, or mostly listed by Americans, so I don't think most people would know that, the Philippines is 14 hours ahead of us, or roundabout, right?
Around that. Well, the thing is, a lot of us had computers back then, so we could have just changed the time to January 1st, 2000, and see if our computer shut off. I mean,
that's true, but there's a way to test those airplanes that were going to jump out of.
No, true. But if my computer shut off, I'm sure other computers would shut off. But yeah, it was just kind of
But New Year's is lame. I mean, it's lame.
Yeah, ever since Dick Clark passed away. No, I remember just watching Dick Clark's New Year's Eve celebration over on TV, and then I don't know who does it now, Ryan Seacrest or
I
don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's garbage. It's not. But I think Journey was on last night. Journey, I know a lot of people shit on Journey in the Brothership. I just want to let you know I love Journey, so shut up. Not just kidding. But I like Journey. I grew up listening to them, but there's a lot of things yeah.
Well, don't stop believing, okay?
Well, of course not.
So we just stayed home with the kids. My wife got us those stone crab claws. We got 5 pounds, and they were amazing, and they cracked them there for us. So you just pull them apart and eat the meat. There's a stone crab sauce, which is sort of mustardy, or you could use drawn butter. Mm-hmm. And I love crab meat. Like I used to love to eat crab legs, but I think this is even better than crab legs. You eat them cold, or you could heat them up, but I think they might lose a little of the flavor if you warm them back up. But absolutely delicious.
That looks really good from your post. I've never had stone crab before. I'm so used to having Dungeness crab because, they're indigenous in this area. And I would love to have some stone crab. I don't know where to get them. No restaurant over here that I know of actually sells them.
Yeah, I think they're a Florida thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's you guys are lucky over there. I mean, stone crab claws and yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I'm wow, is it like a sweet meat crab? I don't know.
Well, it's like the snow crab legs that you get, the big ones. It's like that, but they're big chunks of meat as opposed to like long pieces of meat.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. I mean, they're real easy to get the meat out. It's not like a lot of work if you get them pre-cracked, right? But like if you did the Red Lobster all you could eat crab legs, you had to crack them open and get the meat out of them and use the cracker. These are already cracked, so they were easy and delicious. But my daughter wouldn't eat them, so she had pizza, and let's see, what else do we have? Oh, meatballs. And my wife makes these meatballs And the meatballs are like pre-made. They are, come out of a bag. She dumps them in a crock pot with ketchup and grape jelly, and it is absolutely amazing. It is a favorite here in our house. Everybody loves these, and anybody that she fixes them for just absolutely loves them. They are wonderful. So we had a lot of things to choose from, and we snacked all night. We played Jumanji, which was really cool, and I'm glad that my wife read the instructions. So we bought the game for like $3 at a yard sale. My wife read the instructions, and one player could place a rhino in front of another player's path. And in order to pass it, you had to roll an even number. And so we voted to take that rule out because it would just trigger the kids. So my kids are 15 and 13. And anything where there's any competition in between them, where they feel like someone's, screwing them over in the game, they take it pretty seriously. So we played Munchkin before. Have you ever played that game?
No, I haven't. What is it?
So it's a game where you have to work together, but at some point somebody's going to get up to where you win. So it's like the person that gets to the highest, to the end of the game wins, right? But you have to fight monsters, and you have to ask, will anybody help me fight this monster? And so and you get treasures, which will make you stronger. So at some point you'll help other people, but then you have to stop helping them because they're about to beat you. And then you can play monsters against them. So, not only do they have to fight a monster that they encounter, but now you can say, oh, here you fight another monster. So you compete with the people at the same time. And my kids absolutely, they loved it at first, but then one got upset by it because the other one was trying to keep them from winning, which is the name of the game, right? The nature. And then and then when they did it to the other one, they got all upset, and we had kids rolling around the floor, mad, and I still love to play it, and I'd love to get them to play it because it's but a very fun game. But you do have to work together, but you can screw someone over in the game with where now they have to fight 3 monsters instead of just one.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. So my friend back in North Carolina, Michael, he introduced me that game. I think he bought the kids one of the games, and so we ended up playing it. And at first they loved it. You get to work with people to fight the monster. So if you've got like 7 attack points and the monster's 10, somebody else can help you. And if the rewards are 3 treasures, you can keep 2 treasures and give them 1 for helping you, so you can negotiate.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's and there's different versions. Like there's a Rick and Morty version, or there's I think one of my friends says he's got like 5 different versions that he plays now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Actually, there's the good, the bad, and the Munchkin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's real cool. You play with 4 or 5 people. Really neat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did. We ate. We played games. My wife wanted to sing karaoke, but the kids weren't feeling it.
Oh.
And so my daughter went to swing. We have a swing on our back porch, and she went out there. That's her main activity is swinging or rocking in a rocking chair. She went to swing. My son and I, we played a couple rounds of Fortnite, and then my wife went to watch TV and then ended up falling asleep. We woke her up about 15 minutes before the ball dropped and gave the kids some sparkling grape juice and hugs and kisses, and everybody went to bed.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's great. You got to spend it with family, playing board games and everything like that. Mine, we just eat and then get ready for bed and then sleep. I actually took a nap after dinner. I took a nap. I was like so tired. I didn't want to do the whole staying up late anymore. But I did take a nap, and then I woke up at around 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 o'clock. I woke up at 10 o'clock and then video chatted with the girlfriend. And yeah, just spent the next 2 hours just chatting and watching the live stream. And that was it. Come 12:30, I was like, I got to go to sleep. I'm so tired.
So did you make any New Year's resolutions?
The same resolution I make every year is to get in better shape or in better health. That whole InNOut Burger 10x10 challenge that I did for myself. That was the last thing I wanted to do for 2021, as far as being overly gluttonous. And I want to head back to the gym. I'm still kind of iffy on it because, the whole crazy COVID thing. But yeah, I'm looking back into dieting, or not really dieting, but limiting my portions and eating better. And yeah, I really, because I'm diabetic or pre-diabetic. I'm not taking any insulin or anything like that, but I am taking medication. I have high blood pressure and all that stuff, and I'm not getting any younger. So I really got to take care of myself and get back to where I was about 5 years ago when I actually lost 40 pounds. So yeah, I felt good back then. Now it's like,
how'd you do it?
Diet and exercise. So I was at the gym like 6 days a week for an hour or two. And then I just started eating a lot healthier. I incorporated a lot of salads in my diet, or a lot of greens, a little bit of carbohydrates. As Asian or Filipino, rice is a big part of our diet. So I had to cut a lot of that out, or replace it with something more lower glycemic, so it doesn't burn right away and turn into glucose. So like not red, like why did I say red? Brown rice, quinoa, sometimes not even no carbohydrates at all, just green leafy vegetables. I love vegetables. That's the thing I kind of like about dieting or eating healthier, is that I love vegetables already. So I wasn't going to be like, ugh, or craving meat or fatty foods all the time. I love eating veggies. So that was kind of easy for me to do.
Yeah, we joined the gym, our family, and it's a community center up the road here, and we went, a few times a week, and then probably the second or third week we were in there, there was someone that was just hacking and coughing, and it's pretty small because it's a community center, room. It's not like a big, 50,000 square foot gym, and they were just hacking and coughing and sneezing. And we both, my wife and I were looking at each other like, okay, this is ridiculous that, here we are in this closed space with this person, not wearing a mask, not covering up, just hacking and coughing everywhere. And, not washing their hands afterwards, not leaving the room, just going right back to being in the gym. So we stopped going. But we did buy some of the Bowflex adjustable weights, that they go up to, I think, 52.5 pounds, but you can do 5 pounds, or, you turn the dial on them to select how much weight you want.
Yeah, I have that actually.
Yeah. So we bought those, and my son works out pretty regularly, and I'm, that's my goal this year too, is to work out, quite a bit more and to be a little more active. I think that the COVID kept us at home, but we just really didn't change up. We lost all those steps and all the things that we were doing before. And we don't mind staying home. Actually, we love it, and I'm very thankful that I'm in a house with a wife and kids that I love, and I love being home with them. But we do have to get a little more active, and so hopefully after this next surge that we're in Florida, that it'll get back to normal, and we'll be able to get out and be a little more active out in the community. But it's not that important to me to go out and keep it. Like I texted you earlier that today we had 76,000 COVID cases in a day here in Florida, which in the summer spike, 24,000, I think, was the most that we had in a day. So 3 times higher right now than back in the summer. And in Florida, no one wears masks. The government does it, made an executive order that there could be no mask mandates for indoors, none of that. So.
That's scary. It's weird because California, on the news, California, I think it was the first state to reach 5 million confirmed cases of COVID. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I don't want to go out anymore. So I don't. It's yeah, it's quite a scary thing.
Yeah,
You never know.
And I mean, 2 weeks ago, my uncle passed away from it, but he was 80. And then yesterday, a cousin who was just about 10 years older than me, she passed away from side effects from COVID. It damaged her heart and her lungs, and I think she'd been in the hospital since November.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So to me, it's not worth it to be out. And there's bars that we go by, when we're out and about, and you'll see there are people packed in those bars right next to people, that it can't be people, that they know. And actually, one of those bars had closed for time back when it first got going, because they had so many people with COVID, including their staff. So none of that's worth it to us to risk. And so I'll stay home. I'll have a little bit of extra weight, but we'll see if we can get a little more active without going indoors with a bunch of strangers to get it off of us.
Yeah, exactly. I have my father's uncle recently passed away due to COVID, and I think it was because my uncle's son contracted it. He was against vaccination, and he contracted COVID and possibly spread it to his father, and his father, my dad's uncle, ended up passing away. So that kind of that scares me a lot, especially since in my condition I have asthma.
Me too.
I'm diabetic. Yeah, we talked about it. So my health or my immune system's already been compromised in some ways, so I'm more susceptible to getting a bad COVID reaction or symptoms, and I really don't want that to happen to me or anybody in my family. So far so good. Haven't gotten it yet, despite working throughout the entire pandemic so far. It's just I try to wash my hands, try to wear my mask everywhere I go. I don't care if there's a no mask policy or whatever. I'm wearing my mask. So far it worked for me. I haven't gotten sick, knock on wood. I haven't gotten sick since March of 2000, right before the COVID. Yeah, right before. I just had a mild cold from my niece when I was in North Carolina, and ever since I started wearing a mask, I haven't gotten sick at all. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Might have, might not. I don't know. But so far so good. I don't want to jinx myself, and yeah, I'm gonna continue what I've been doing for now. And it's been working for me. So
Good. So for me, I don't have any New Year's resolutions, but I do want to talk about the I guess it's sponsorship that Janet and I are doing.
yes,
To get a member of the Brothership there who normally wouldn't make it, and it's actually going really well. We have 6 people who have sent in entries to that. One is disqualified. They have been before, so that they are not eligible.
Okay.
But maybe in the future that they will be if we get to where there's no one that applies. So we have 5, all really great applicants, and so these are due back to us by the 31st of January. And all they have to do is fill out a simple form, and it's in the group. Or if you're just hearing about this for the first time, you can email me at 233-0186@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to the survey that is pretty easy. You just fill out and give us some basic information, and then we'll be making a decision shortly after the first and contacting the winner there.
that is so very awesome of you and your wife to do something like this for somebody in the brothership. Uh, yeah, if you need anything from me, if you want my help with anything, just let me know. I would love to chip in whatever I can to help out with this cause. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really
it's so
nice of you.
awesome.
That's what the great thing about the Facebook group is, everybody is so nice and complimentary to each other and encouraging. So and that's one reason we want to do it. Plus, we had such a great time with everyone that we met there, and we're looking forward to doing it again. And it's we know that not everyone is in a financial situation where they can just go out of town for 2 or 3 days and go to this event and see these legends and spend time with the brothership. So we're happy to be able to help out. So here's what we're giving. We're giving airfare. We are giving ultra ticket, the ultra ticket. So the one where you get to see all three of the stars. You do the cup of coffee, you do the dinner, and then you do the after show, the after party. And then we'll also, the hotel accommodations to be paid for Friday and Saturday night. So you'll get there the night before the event, and then you'll stay the night of the event, and then leave on the following Sunday. And then to make it easier on everyone, so that you may not have the cash or whatever, just our thought process. We're giving $50 a day per diem, so $50 a day to eat on. And you get one of those meals with the ultra ticket, the dinner with it comes with the meal. So just to help people out, and I'll be picking you up at the airport, dropping you off at the hotel, and it's really our pleasure to be able to do this with everyone. And we think that all the brothershipers should be able to come and experience it and just get together and hang out and spend the time together that we did. It was really an awesome experience for not just me, but my wife. She really enjoyed meeting everyone and talking to the kids that were there, and it was really just an awesome time. And we both felt so strongly leaving that place that that more people should be attending, that we said, well, what can we do? And this is just one way I think that we can help get more people in there. And that being said, if you've never been to one of the CWF Legends Fan Fest, you don't have to be a fans of the wrestlers. You don't have to be the biggest marks or for these guys. Some of them you've probably seen a dozen times at the conventions, but the cup of coffee was really cool to hear Jerry Jarrett talk and in person for over an hour and have some really good questions from guys in the group. So Barry and Jeff, I think, asked some questions, and then they opened it up to everyone else, and you might be one of the people that get to ask Jared a question, right? So that was really cool. He won't be there this year, but you can go back and look on the CWF Legends Fan Fest page, and you'll see who all will be there this year. So we feel so strongly that is something that everyone should experience, of being able to see these legends. But the most important thing is hanging out and spending time with the brothership.
That is very awesome of you. Question. You said one person was disqualified. Are there any other stipulations or anything that will not qualify you for this type of thing?
No, we're just asking that everyone apply that you had never been to a fan fest before. We want to bring someone that has never been.
And so, also that lives in the lower 48 states, right?
Yes. Just so that we can, be able to fly them in and, put a little bit of a restraint on the budget.
Right.
We don't want someone to think that they live in Wales, John Lee, that we'd be flying them over. But you know what? It would be absolutely awesome if people pulled enough money and got someone like that from across the water to come over here. That would be awesome. And I really think the brothership would, because the moment that I sent this out, I got probably 5 messages saying, hey, I'm not going to apply, but I'm okay. But I'll be happy to help out monetarily. So just tell me where to send the PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or whatever, right? I'll be happy to do that. And that was just one of the most wonderful things about the brothership. And then there were still a couple people who were like, "Hey, I'm applying for this, but I think this person deserves it more than me." I mean, come on, who would say that, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it's really nice, I mean, the brothership. I'm not just all crazy and in love with the brothership. I mean, there's actually good people who are selfless and just want to see other people do well in the brothership. So
yeah, and then there's Chris Zaha. No, I'm just kidding. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. No, I love that guy. He's cool. He's a good dude.
It's funny how much everybody jokes him, right? I mean, to where it almost, before I met him, it kind of made me a little uncomfortable, right? Because you're not sure how he's taking it, and he takes it, and it's just a joke to him, just like the Jaworski jokes, right?
Oh yes.
So he's another one. I want to bring on Stephen Jaworski just so that we can talk about this theme, because it's his jokes on him across many different Facebook groups that he and I are in together. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's hilarious, and it's always the same ones, Well, awesome, Ariel. That's the Fan Fest, and if you are interested in applying, just send me an email to 233-0186@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link. It's just a link where to fill out a survey, and then we'll be making that decision, shortly after the 31st. Deadline's the 31st, just so that we could get things booked. Man, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you here in the group with some more of your awesome Facebook posts about food.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe this year it's going to be salads. Sorry. Sorry about that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, there's a lot of people in the group that love the leafy green, if you know what I mean.
Well, of course.
All right, man. Well, you take care.
You too. Thank you.